remains of a seventh fallen U.S. soldier arrived back here stateside.
This comes as President Trump says the war with Iran could be over very soon, but adding that bigger strikes could also be coming first. Let's go live to News Nation Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt, live at the White House. Morning, Hannah. The president is calling this war a short excursion. So how is he framing the conflict to House Republicans?
Hillary, Corey, good morning. That's absolutely the headline here. He kept using that term. He said short-term excursion. It could be over very soon, and that's something that a lot of people are very interested in. But at the same time, President Trump is making the case that he had no choice but to launch this operation in the first place. He told Republicans at a fundraiser yesterday that if he didn't, Iran would have struck the U.S. within a week. Obviously, a very serious claim there, but the president really saying that this military operation is now ahead of schedule. He listed claims about how U.S. forces have sunk Iran's Navy, destroyed its Air Force, and essentially wiped out drone and missile capabilities in the country. Now, the president said he doesn't think this operation will end this week, but he kept saying it will be over soon. Take a listen.
We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective. And some people could say they're pretty well complete. We've wiped every single force in Iran out very completely.
Though the promise that it'll be over soon seems to conflict a little bit with what we're hearing from the Pentagon, because just earlier in the day before the president's press conference, they posted, "We have only just begun to fight." We've heard a similar message from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, who really said this operation is only just beginning. Of course, there will be a Pentagon briefing today, so we may hear more from him later in the morning. But President Trump also commented on the new leader of Iran, something we've all been watching and waiting for as well, essentially saying he's disappointed in the choice Iran made to select the son of Ayatollah Khamenei, but he said it wouldn't be appropriate to say whether the new leader has a target from the U.S. on his back. Hillary, Corey?
So, Hannah, we know the president's also keeping his eye on fluctuating oil prices and what it means when we hit the gas pump. And he's threatening to hit Iran even harder if it does cut off the world's supply and prices go back up. How would that work? What would that ultimately mean?
Yeah, this is a central problem here, but crude oil has actually fallen to below $100 a barrel, and that's something that happened shortly after the president said this could be over soon. But the president at the same time saying that he's not going to let Iran hold the world's oil supply hostage. He said that in his press conference and followed it up with this threat on Truth Social, warning if Iran does anything to stop the flow of oil in the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. will hit them, quote, 20 times harder. Now, to try to bring costs back down, the president is also talking about how the U.S. is offering political risk insurance to tankers in the Gulf and waiving some oil-related sanctions. And he's also, again, floating the idea that the U.S. Navy may escort oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the president arguing that in the long run, the oil will be more secure and prices will be more secure without the threat of Iran, saying he expects these prices to come back down soon for families.